I'm Dr. Bob Grakowski. Welcome back to the Better Brain Academy. So if you think about it, one of the most important things that our brain does is keep us breathing. Think about that. We don't have to think about breathing on a regular basis. We got enough things to think about in our daily activities, let alone breathing. But what I want you to do is start to focus in on how you're breathing so you can change some old habit patterns. The neurological response of breath has to do with part of your periaqueductal gray in the midbrain, which has these chemical receptors, these chemoreceptors that will trigger pain. It will trigger all different types of hypoxia, so if you don't have enough oxygen, and it will also trigger a response, an emergency response in the body. So part of our brain, the hypothalamus, is regulating all the different internal organs on a regular basis. If you have things where sleep apnea, sometimes it can be pressure on the uppermost part of the neck. Let's say you're sitting at a computer all day long and you're like this, you start to compress the nerve and circulation in the upper cervical area, and you compress that. Changing our posture and getting our shoulders back, getting our head back, increases the oxygenation in our lungs. If we are a costal breather, it takes 3 times more energy to breathe with our ribs than it does to breathe with our diaphragm. So we want to make sure that these chemical receptors in the brain that are not becoming hypoxic, which means too much chemical irritants and not enough actual oxygen. So the carbon dioxide oxygen level gets out of balance. Quitting breathing, mouth breathing, different forms of sleep apnea, all of these things affect our brain matter. They have found that mouth breathers in kids have a much higher incidence of attention deficit hyperactivity. They've also found that as a person gets older, if they have sleep apnea, they have a much higher incidence of reducing the white matter of the brain, and the midbrain also affects different nerve transmitters, dopamine, so it affects your emotions, it affects your moods, and it can also affect the certain tremors. So we want to make sure that we're getting good oxygen in the body. Obviously, one of the best things to do is get some regular exercise so that you're increasing your oxygen uptake in your body. But you can consciously stop and breathe through the nose, bring it down to the diaphragm, and blowing out. If you did that before every meal, then what happens is the message going down to the phrenic nerve, down to your diaphragm, sends a message back up. It actually changes the way that you're breathing. You get better oxygen and better oxygen transfer in through the gut, better digestion. So just stop. Take 10 breaths through the nose, down to the belly before each meal, and you're going to affect the brainstem, the hypothalamus, different parts of the white matter over a long period of time. If we breathe 16 times every minute, and we breathe 960 times every hour, and 23,000 times per day, take and make about 40 to 50 of those conscious breath through your nose, down to your diaphragm. You not only feel more clear, but you're going to add years to your life. So make sure that you're getting proper oxygen, and get out and take a walk or get some oxygen in the body today with some exercise. This is another Better Brain tip from Dr. Bob. Have a great week.